A well-known Nigerian prophet, Elijah Ayodele, has issued a warning to the current African Footballer of the Year, Victor Osimhen, who currently plays for Napoli in Italy. The prophet cautioned Osimhen against moving to Chelsea, claiming such a move would ruin his career. Furthermore, the prophet advised the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, to stop inviting Osimhen to the national team, the Super Eagles, if he joins Chelsea. He also advised that the NFF should reconsider Osimhen's inclusion in the Super Eagles altogether, regardless of whether he makes the move to Chelsea or not. These were his exact words. "I want to quickly advise as directed that Osimhen should not go to Chelsea because if he goes there, he will not shine and it will kill his career. NFF, if Osimhen should go to Chelsea, don't call him again, and also calling him to the Super Eagles still needs to be reviewed properly because we have what it takes to go to the World Cup and Nations Cup." Let us dissect these statements by the Nigerian prophet, Primate Elijah Ayodele, for red flags. Osimhen should not go to Chelsea. Prophet Elijah mentioned that he was directed to issue his warning, but he left it unclear whether this directive came from God, man, or himself. His ambiguity raises questions, as he didn't specify the source of his message. What happened to statements like, "Thus saith the Lord, God spoke to me," or "God sent me to warn you"? Nigerians deserve to know who exactly directed Prophet Elijah to caution Victor Osimhen and the Nigerian Football Federation. They want to understand under whose authority he made these statements in the media. If he goes there, he will not shine and it will kill his career. Did the prophet consider how this statement might impact Victor Osimhen? Such a message could potentially lead to anxiety or even depression. Prophet Elijah seemed more focused on delivering his warning than on the potential consequences of his words. Statements like these are dangerous and manipulative, creating fear and confusion in those they target. In such a state, Victor Osimhen might be pushed to make a hasty decision that could negatively affect his life and career. After advising Osimhen not to move to Chelsea, the prophet failed to offer any positive guidance or alternative paths for the footballer. Instead, he went further, warning the NFF never to invite Osimhen to the Super Eagles again if he joins Chelsea. This clearly shows that the Nigerian prophet Elijah has a beef with Victor Osimhen. And his approach feels like cheap blackmail and is unbecoming of someone in his position. It raises questions about whether this is a plot against Victor Osimhen or if the prophet holds some personal grudges against him. When did Prophet Elijah become the advisor to the Nigerian Football Federation? Is he now the new Minister of Sports or perhaps the Chairman Emeritus of the NFF? His statements seem more harmful than helpful. One has to wonder if the prophet is seeking the downfall of the African Footballer of the Year. Is he aiming to cut short Victor Osimhen's career so prematurely? Why didn't he offer any constructive advice or solutions to help the striker? Could his statements be linked to Osimhen's outburst on social media against the former Super Eagles coach, Finidi George? Is this a calculated move to push Osimhen out of the Super Eagles, by making the NFF believe that his warning is divine? Prophet Elijah, this might be a message from above, but definitely not from God. But what if Victor Osimhen moves to Chelsea and thrives? What if he joins PSG and ends the season as the top scorer with 40 goals? In such a scenario, would it still make sense to advise the NFF to reconsider his call-up? Success on the field could easily prove that the prophet's warnings were unfounded, highlighting the importance of evaluating a player's performance rather than being swayed by external predictions or warnings. Here are some questions for Nigerians to ponder on. Why didn't the Nigerian prophet Elijah clearly state who directed him to issue the warning to Victor Osimhen and the NFF? Why did he choose to make such statements publicly through the press instead of delivering his messages privately? If his intentions were genuine, wouldn't it have been more appropriate to advise Osimhen and the NFF directly? Despite warning Osimhen not to move to Chelsea or risk his career, the prophet went further to caution the NFF against inviting him to the Super Eagles. This raises serious concerns. Is the prophet targeting Osimhen? Does he wish to see the end of Osimhen's football career at both club and national levels? And does he understand the broader impact this could have, not just on Osimhen, but on his family and those who depend on him? The approach taken by Prophet Elijah seems more destructive than supportive, and it is worth questioning his true motives. Time will only tell. What if Victor Osimhen moves to Chelsea and outshines legends like Kanu, JJ, Yobo, Mikel, and Yakubu in the Premier League. And what if he moves to another club and doesn't achieve the same success? Victor Osimhen, follow your heart. If God does not want you to move to Chelsea, He will speak to you directly. Yes, God speaks to everyone, and He speaks to the heart. Don't let anyone, whether a man of God or a prophet, make you think that God can only communicate with you through them. Do not believe every word that comes from the mouth of a man of God in Nigeria. Trust in your own connection with God, and make decisions that feel right to you. These warnings by Primate Prophet Elijah Ayodele are not from God, and there have been red flagged.